everybody. This is Marcus Sillett, the moderator of the Political Rant Show right here on SIBN FM Radio Network. And we are ready to discuss politics and how it affects you. Let's go right into the studio with Stan and our special guest of the day.
President-backed re-election, and the GOP need to get over this.
It's going to take them a long time to get over that stage.
I can understand why, because they are shocked at the fact that a community activist, second-term president, worked the system on it.
I tell you, it's a good thing that Obama was re-elected. It would not have been a good thing for this country had Obama been a one-term president.
It wouldn't have. Mitt Romney wouldn't have served us at all. Only the rich, the wealthy, the well-do-all. And if you look at most of your senators, congressmen, and your state representative on the GOP side, most of them are worth anything in excess of $3 million.
That's right.
Okay,
right.
So the common people vote them in. We, the citizen, we vote them in. Okay, but they've been heavily influenced, and that was one of the reasons why Obama had to win this election, because the Supreme Court got it wrong with Citizens United. You understand?
Yeah,
they got it wrong.
Yeah.
They allowed money to buy votes.
That's right. You can't buy votes in America. Not supposed to be able to anyway.
With that ruling, the Supreme Court made votes for sale.
Well, that's what it did. It did. So we accepted it, We went along, but we didn't have to keep it. We can change it. As Obama said in his speech for winning the second term, he said, we, the citizens, the voters, we're going to have to continue to stay engaged in this.
Right.
And so that's why he's taking it to the street now. The fiscal cliff.
The fiscal cliff.
I call it the fiscal cliffhanger.
Okay. We'll work with that. The GOP has been holding off for the last 2 years on this. Of whether or not they should allow Obama. And what they did was that they've been filibustering. They've been not voting. Mm-hmm. They hadn't worked. Mm-hmm. I think all of them should be fired. I think somebody need to come up with some type of law or bill passed that if they don't vote on everything that comes up, they need to be fired.
Well, it's interesting that Obama was reelected. He needed to be reelected in order to get this country to continue to go in the direction he set us in with his first term.
Yeah, he brought in change, and now he brought in moving forward. Right.
Exactly.
The one thing about change that I want to say, though, is this. Most of us don't want it. While it may seem hopeful and aspiring to have change, that means you must reveal something, and you must be ready to prepare yourself to work to get something. I'm done with that topic, but the change we can believe in is going to take about the same amount of time, if not longer, as it took Bush to mess things up with 8 years of Republican rule.
Talk about time, man. It took, what? Remember Martin Luther King's I Have a Dream speech?
Yeah.
The beginning of that speech starts out, man, that it's, Abraham Lincoln signed the Emancipation Proclamation in 1863, and that speech was given in 1963, 100 years later. And that's what Martin Luther King said, and so here we are on the steps of Washington, D.C., 100 years later, and American Negroes still are not given their constitutional rights in this country. From the time the Emancipation Proclamation was signed until 100 years, we were still struggling for freedom and rights. And so that struggle hasn't stopped. We're going to have to continue to struggle. It may take another 100 years for us to really be where we need to be. But we're not going to turn around. We're not going to go backwards. We're going to continue to go forwards. We're going to evolve this thing to where it ought to be. America is a country that's evolving. And when you look back and you say, well, America stands for freedom, it stands for individuality, it stands for justice. Well, it really never has really been that for everybody, but it's evolving into that. We can continue to help.
Don't forget capitalism now. They love to use that one right there. Don't forget that one.
Well, capitalism's not all bad now.
Well, I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying, they use that one before democracy. Let the free market system work.
Yeah, let it work itself out.
But you got to have controls on free capitalism. That's the deal with everything that exists really in the world, man. You got to have checks and balances on everything. You can't just let the Democrats be in full control, man. The Republicans are a good check on the abuse of power that Democrats would have. You got to have a balance in both of them. But you want to go forward. You don't want to go backwards. You're talking about conservatism. I don't know why people like to call themselves conservatives. Conservatism to me means you want to either stay where you are or go backwards. You either want to stay where you are or go backwards. That's conservatism. We don't want to do that. We want to move forwards. We want to make progress. You want to be progressive. You want to be liberal. Those are good terms.
Well, we found that out with Ronald Reagan, they thought Ronald Reagan was the best president ever.
Well, he made it, but Stan, as you have said so many times before, he made sure that it was plausible that they could stay where they were, with opposing unions and beyond and beyond and beyond. But I think that the Democrats, just from my young mind looking out, stopped being so far to the left and found more middle ground to keep us moving forward. But it seemed like to me Ronald Reagan is celebrated as a guy who was conservative, and as your guest just said, he ensured and did things that made sure that the Republicans could stay there. But they had left a few things out to me. They left out, one of the things they left out was the demographics growth of the Hispanic population. Okay. They left that out of the equation for elections going forward. But that's just my young mind, Okay.
Well, that's what happened with a lot of young voters out here. They was all Hispanics, they was black,
Asian,
Latino, Asian, and they was the one the independents who pulled us off for Obama.
Mm-hmm.
And the GOP, they never did change. They wanted to maintain and just say, okay, the Latino doesn't count. We're not counting them.
That's another thing. Really, the election of Barack Obama was not so much Mitch Romney versus Obama. It was really the Democrats versus the Republicans. People rejected the Republican stance on a lot of so-called liberal issues, such as gay marriage, things like that. They rejected the Republican stance on those issues, and so they wanted a different person that was more in line with what their aspirations were. I mean, look at the Republican stance on immigration. They want to build walls at the border. They want to build 20-foot walls on the border of Texas. Is that insane?
And don't forget self-portation.
Exactly.
But here's the thing that if Stan, and maybe you can speak to this issue. If you've been following the Republican Party for the last 25 years, these platforms shouldn't surprise you. I don't know what everybody was fussing about. I think, moreover, what it gives us is power now to our voice as we take to microphones and other platforms to say, we're not surprised. These platforms about abortion are reemerging because the Republicans refuse to moderate to a people who are progressive. It's not just Democrats who are progressive here. Our American culture is progressive.
One of the things, Mark,
exactly right. You hit the nail on the head, Mark.
Right, because see, they have gone in and redistrict,
anticipating a change, but not pinpointing how it would affect them.
Right. Well, I guess
go back to the old white men theory.
That's what I'm getting ready to. The number one thing that they was running on is that they wanted their tax break. Mm-hmm. The Bush's tax break.
Mm-hmm. Well, I tell you, man, when you got a lot of money, you want to keep it. You don't want anybody taking it from you.
And what was that quote you wrote down? What was that quote you wrote down?
People with privileges do not give up their privileges easily. They don't give them up voluntarily.
They didn't even want to let the women into the golf clubs. Anyway, go ahead. Let's stay with the old white men theory.
Well, the white man theory is that if I have all this money and I'm wealthy, why should I have a trickle down effect? That hasn't been proven.
That's right. Why should I give it up? I've got $200 million. Why should I give you any of it? I want it all.
That because he had offshore bank accounts.
Well, prior to a progressive, dynamic, diverse American culture, money rules, and I have to admit, money still rules. But the contender in the ring is a people who want more choice. They want freedom for real. And so the money grabbers and those who want more freedom, they're clashing to me.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
I understand.
And so if you're going to be in power now, correct me if I'm wrong, you can't just have money. That Supreme Court ruling is proof of that. That gave the super PACs all the money in the world to fight. But the little guy who can contribute $10, you get 100,000 families that contribute $5 every time they get paid. I don't know.
And that's what Obama did. They worked that every week. Some people paid $5, $10, $20 every week.
Thank God for the internet.
The internet, this is an awesome thing.
Yes, it is. It's incredible. The power of the internet, the power of mass communications, the power of social media, all of these new technologies has made the world a different place. It's made it a more of a level playing field for those who have been traditionally disempowered.
Yes.
For those who traditionally don't have, unlimited or virtually unlimited resources to go out and do something. Now they've got a voice that's equal to the guy with $20 million, man.
Thank you.
They could do it. They could reach millions of people.
Thank you.
So now
a means that doesn't require a substantial investment in capital.
But the question is for the African Americans, if we just get back to that for a minute, is will they use their platform and what Barack Obama did for us, President Barack Obama, excuse me, because I get tired of people in the traditional media just calling him Barack. But what he has done for us is said he has done what King did for us mentally by saying we have technological platforms available to us to make and enforce change. I'm going to use them. I'll be the sacrificial lamb and use them first to bring landslide change to an America that we had not seen. Now, I need you, the people, to follow me in this new change. And a lot of us haven't gotten it, Stan, yet. We have not realized now you can broadcast your own radio, your own TV. Now you can get on there and talk about your own opinion, what you believe. We have not still used them. We're using them for boyfriend, girlfriend. I got to go. Let's go to a commercial break, man, and we'll be right back in a few minutes, all right? Can we do that?
Yes.
All right. You got to stand by.
Sense, a feature that makes the most of your plan, only on Verizon.
Oh, hey, Mike, where are you up to?
Just diagramming this accident with my State Farm Pocket Agent app. You can also get a quote and pay your premium with this thing.
I thought State Farm didn't have all those apps.
Where'd you hear that?
The internet.
And you believed it?
Yeah, they can't put anything on the internet that isn't true.
Where'd you hear that? The internet.
Oh, look, here comes my date. I met him on the internet. He's a French model.
Bonjour.
State Farm, more mobile than ever. Get to a better state.
Hold on to me as we go.
It's time to pursue our dreams, to chase what we believe in. It's time to work, to give it our very all and not give up. American Family Insurance believes your dreams deserve the best protection. That's why we're committed to being there for you every step of the way.
You're listening to SIPM Radio on the Salute USA TV iBroadcasting Network.